Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to Black Arrow Gaming. I'm Bob, back for some more Age of Wonders 3. We are carrying on with our Halfling Crusade, with Sam having now knocked out Merry, Frodo, and Bilbo, with only a few left to go. I think there's 4 remaining. We've got Pippin, Smeagol, Nori, and Yoda. Yoda is canonically a halfling in this universe. I created this universe, so I get to determine who is what around here. So, we've got, I created this alternative universe, I should say. I did not create The Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. This is my own alternative fusion between the two. Let's get started with feedback in general from you guys. There was a lot said about my battle at the end of episode 13, I think it was, and justifiably so. When I sieged Bilbo, that was really one of my sloppier performances in a while. Made a lot of errors. I still think my biggest was not disjuncting or attempting to get rid of Crypt on Life, which caused me more trouble than any other single thing. But I also could have done some other things much better, so we'll talk about that. For one thing, though, I did want to mention briefly. I realized this only after that battle wrapped up, but Kipper died in that battle, one of my halfling warlords. I cannot get him back with True Resurrect because I am still at the halfling hero limit. And it resurrects whoever the most recently deceased one is, as I understand it. So there is no way. Kipper is basically just permanently out of the game now. So unfortunately, we'll not be getting that warlord back. We will have to carry on without him. Poor guy got taken out by a giant trebuchet boulder. As it makes sense for a halfling. I don't think he would stand up very well to a direct hit from that. Trebuchets are scary on defense. They are honestly... Trebuchets are great on offense and defense. Just leave them around cities and they'll do great, especially against halflings. But yes, so unfortunately, Kipper is gone for good. There were other issues with that battle, tactical errors. Of course, I already talked about Crypto on Life, but I was also using the Warbreeds to attack like the wrong section of the wall. Those parts that stick out are tempting to go after because they're the closest to you, kind of the easiest to gather up around. Well, the problem is that even getting on top of those, you're still in like a one-tile choke point. I should have been hitting the areas in and around the gates probably, especially the gates themselves since those break easier, and using those as my primary way to punch through. Should not have gone directly after the stone ramparts. That was not a great use of those war breeds. Also, I didn't use my berserkers the way I probably should have. I most likely should have split the berserkers off on like their own separate roundabout route to just climb over the wall on like the opposite side of the rest of my force to distract the enemy like I've done in some previous battles, and I didn't do that. So my bad on both of those points. Also, Stuart Games did mention that I really should probably be using Dread Siege more. I don't think I have that yet, but I should get it and use it during city sieges because it really would help a lot against halflings. And I should also probably use Dominate more often, as like think of Dominate as more of a tactical or a combat spell rather than a tool to permanently keep new units. Since my options are limited, because I can only convert halfling units per my own set rules in this series. So yeah, I think that makes sense. Think of those types of items as more of like a permanent or like a tactical spell to temporarily take a unit away from the enemy and maybe use it to damage the enemy while also intentionally getting the unit you converted killed, just to get it out of the way. There still would have been many issues in this battle regardless because of Crypt of Life being up, but yeah, I could have played it better. But with that all being said, let's talk about a couple other little things here before we get started. The dungeon in this city, I talked about it switching to my center city. It used to be that this dungeon and that gold mine were in this city's borders. The reason that happened, I realized just after I stopped recording, was that this city's borders shrank because of Authority of the Sword. When Pippin took it over for like one turn, the spells I had on it got taken away, which reminds me that I need to get one of those back, Scales of Fortune, but I don't have enough mana to cast it right now. But I eventually do need to put Scales of Fortune back on there. But yeah, that's what happened. Pippin took it, Authority of the Sword went away, the borders shrank, and it gave them to this city, which was already pushing against those borders anyway. There's not really any easy way to get it back to this city without intentionally shrinking the size of this one, I don't think that's worth it. I think the city will do fine to just make phalanxes, and I can do other stuff with the city. Plus, the extra production will be nice. It may help with like Warbreed production. It probably won't help based on what Impregnable was saying with Manicore Rider production, but I can make Warbreeds in one turn, which is pretty dang nice. Looks like I could probably do that with or without the dungeon. Well, maybe not, because I'm getting a happiness bonus to production from the city being cheerful, and if I took away the base 30 plus 50% of 30, it would be taking away 45. Actually, I wouldn't be able to make the Horde breeds in one turn here without that dungeon, so yeah, actually it's a good thing it is here, because then I can make one turn war breeds. Not bad. I was working on the arcane item forge. I'm wondering if I should continue to do that or not. I probably will let that finish. It's tempting to just go right into Warbreed production, but they take mana, and that's a resource I really need to work on getting more of. I'm not sure if the extra 10 research from this item forge is really going to be worth it. Yeah, I think I'm going to change that, because the arcane item forge is costing 50 mana itself, so I'm going to get back some of that mana anyway. Yeah, I'm going to cancel that. Let's make some Warbreeds instead. That one turn Warbreed just seems too good. In fact, we'll just make a whole bunch of those guys. Since they are effectively going to be my siege weapons for this series, I think that's a better choice than Arcane Item Forge, because most likely, regardless of what the city's doing, whether making Warbreeds or Manicore Riders, I think it will be making units for the rest of the game. So I will go ahead and do that. From Chris Lighthawk, and that was that comment feedback there came from Chris Lighthawk and Konstantinos Sampanidis, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Chris Lighthawk and Jeff both mentioned that I only need a little more research to get Thoroughbred Mounts in one turn, so I could just set a city to research. You can see that here. Thoroughbred Mounts is 372 knowledge away when you highlight it, and I am at 358, so I only need what looks like 14, and that shouldn't be hard to get. I was making a Great Temple here, but I think I can put that on hold for one turn, just to get one turn of Seek Knowledge, and that should get me, that gets me to 371. I needed 372. Okay, well, it won't work in that city, so we'll go back to Great Temple Hospital. How about my capital? Making Brew Brothers here. I don't think it's going to make a big enough difference here either. We can try it, but I don't think it's going to matter. I guess it'd be Seek Knowledge. Again, 371. Oh, the math is not working out in my favor here. We'll figure this out. We'll go ahead and get a couple more Brew Brothers, like I was going to do. Okay, somebody else, preferably a city that isn't desperately needed to be building other things. That one's one turn away from an Arcane Item Forge, so I don't want to switch it. Bilbo City is currently being absorbed. It's really, this is the only city aside from the city in the middle that I could do this at. This definitely would do the trick, though. Alright, we can halt Phalanx production for one turn to get that done. Okay, that will do it. See, now Thoroughbred Mounts in one turn. And that means that what I did at the Wizard Tower, the Sphinx Temple, the research I got out of that, isn't really truly being wasted. So I'll take that. Okay, so we got that taken care of. Dread Siege was our... Oh, no, I mentioned Dread Siege above. Impregnable also pointed out that that can be used very effectively in conjunction with War Anthem, my partisan spell that lowers unit morale. So yeah, I will try to remember to do that. I can also get... I should also get, according to Impregnable, all city happiness to around 900 in preparation for Age of Deception. That is sort of an ongoing thing that I'm trying to do. Getting Terraform will help with that some. There's also some other buildings I could make, like the hospital. I may do that after I've gotten a couple more Brew Brothers, but I do need Brew Brothers mixed in with my other armies too, so I want to finish that. There's other things I can do in my other cities, but yes, happiness improvements are kind of an ongoing project, but I think most cities are at least fairly happy. So Age of Disjunction is disjunction, Age of Deception. I don't know why I do that. Age of Deception is going to cause them a morale debuff, but I don't remember what it is off the top of my head for cities. But it's not steep enough to make a city with 550 happiness start revolting. I just want to be prepared for it because it will still impact my economy if the city drops down into a lower happiness threshold. And I suspect Age of Deception will be coming fairly soon. From Impregnable and Sergei Taranyenko, need to pay more careful attention to research thresholds in general. I talked about that a little bit. It's usually best to switch to a smaller research option before clearing structures like the Sphinx Temple, because then you can maybe get multiple spells in one turn, which is something I definitely should have done. The other thing is, with Research, Impregnable kind of explained this to me a little bit more, but when you see the little parentheses here with like bonus research in it, this happened in, I think, about 14 minutes into episode 14, when I had a little bit of extra research and I chose to spend it on, oh gosh, what was that upgrade? It was the one that gives warrior culture, I think. Yeah, it was warrior culture. It was 200 research. At the time, I had like 230 research income or something like that, plus like an extra bonus 42. Because my base research was enough to get warrior culture in one turn, I should have used the extra 45 or 42 or whatever it was by just literally clicking on anything else to apply that research to something else. When I was prompted, this only works when you're being prompted to select a research, and that little parentheses is there. But I could have instantly put that research towards anything else and then switched back to warrior culture and still gotten warrior culture in one turn. So yeah, basically I need to pay more attention to the research mechanics. I have a fairly good understanding of how they work in this game. That the math, in my opinion, the math isn't displayed very well for it in game. It's not exactly very intuitive. You really have to understand how it works, which I do at this point for the most part, but I tend to like gloss over it because I'm trying to play too fast. But that all being said, let's go ahead and get into some gameplay here. That's pretty much all the feedback. There was a lot to talk about, mostly just cleaning up my own mistakes, but we can get into some combat here. And the next thing we wanted to do was take this tomb away from these undead and get a little bit of extra research over here. Oh, actually, now that I think of it, if I clear this, I could keep picking phalanxes in that city and switch one of the others to research and still get Thoroughbred Mountain one turn, because this is going to get me an extra 5 research per turn, so that would actually solve that problem. Alright, let's go ahead and move up. Try to lure these guys out of their little hole back there. I've got, let's see, a few nice things on her. I think I probably want to not cast spells with her if I can avoid it, but I got to admit, Starblades would be really handy against the undead. I'm thinking I might give Starblades to the Phalanxes and the Warbreeds. It'll also get my Sorcerer a little bit extra XP, just from casting spells a little bit, so that wouldn't be bad. Now the problem with these battles is that stupid Deathbringer always jumps behind me. So I'm going to leave a Warbreed nearby. Block her in completely. Give him Starblades. Starblades is cheap, easy XP for the Sorcerer. Alright, they're coming. Try to wail. Oh, that failed on everyone. Alright, that's nice. I think that Deathbringer went after the Monster Hunter. Poor choice on their part. Probably will move the Brew Brother here, and well, there's no flanking on these guys, but alright, I'll take that. Okay, the Phalanx is doing just fine where they're at. We'll leave them on defense. I want to smash that Banshee with a Warbreed with a magical glowy club. After I soften it up a bit first, I think. And that guy, the warg, is not dead yet, so I don't need to worry about it coming back. Yeah, let's just do this. Okay, then the Warbreed should be able to one-shot that. Gets himself a nice promotion level for it. And I'll put these guys here on defense. It should be okay. Yeah. Just the Revenant Infantry and Archer. Oops, I forgot to use my Sorcerer to actually do anything on that turn. Okay, Warg down. Can then run these guys forward. Stab the Archer. Oh, that's a one-shot. Okay. I'm going to try to give the rest of my XP, rest of this XP to my Warrior, or to my Sorcerer. I was thinking she had healing, but I actually don't have an item for that. I do have a bunch of leftover junk items from Kipper that I actually don't need anymore. That can be sold, so I need to remember to do that. There's some sitting in the city, too, that I don't need. She doesn't have any healing. So I'll just use the Brew Brother to do that. And I can use her to get behind this guy. I would like her to get the killing blow. I just want to make sure she can. I may need to soften them up a little bit with the archers. Oh, and then I could use Spirit Magic. That'd be far more effective. There we go. Actually, maybe should have done the other one to technically land 2 hits. Okay, ooh. A Lifesteal Sword. That's actually kind of cool. I'll take that. Also get some mana out of it, too. Let's see. What does she not need? I probably want to keep the Cure Disease, because there's still 2 rogues that I'm up against. I can't really see her ever shooting the crossbow. Oh, okay. So I'm up against 2 rogues, I'm up against a druid, and I'm up against... Who's the other one? A sorcerer. I think I'm going to get rid of the Black Wand. The crossbow is still potentially useful in situations where you have to charge at something. And cover distance before firing a single shot. I think the Lifesteal Blade, that's probably going to go to... Well, he doesn't even have... That guy doesn't even have any melee weapon. I'm going to send that out probably to Pippin. Could maybe turn him into a melee fighter. I like doing that with Theocrats. Alright, we'll send that his way. And there's maybe some other items here I could shuffle around. We'll see what I find when I get back to the city. But yeah, Pippin doesn't even have a melee weapon, so we want to get that on him. Sam has quite a mix of stuff, including multiple ways of healing. The sorcerer has none right now. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Oh, I don't have enough mana to do that, do I? Oh, yeah, I do, because I got some out of the dungeon. I think I do anyway. Okay, before I forget, let's correct this situation. Since we now have that tomb in our borders, I no longer need the research there. I can cancel production of those and get knowledge here. That gets me to 376, which is just over the 372 threshold I need. Then can do that afterwards. And then in this city, I'm actually going to go ahead and make a healing potion, I think. Because the sorcerer doesn't have one, and she really freaking needs one. So... healing is 130. I can afford that. And I think it would be worth it for her, because... especially with Kipper gone... Where's that pink-looking one that I always just intrinsically associate with being a healing potion? I think I went the wrong way around the item art list. There it is. Okay. We want one of those. Then we'll need another phalanx. I think what I'm going to do is plan ahead here. I'll let this... No, wait, there's going to be a brew brother right in that area. Okay, we can carry on like this. I'm going to send this guy out in this direction. The brew brother will be able to send that item on the next turn. They are all good there. I don't really need a road to this fort. I think that would be a waste of money. I don't imagine it would really matter much. So they can just head back. And let's see, what are you doing here? Oh yeah, I was going to make a tower right here. There we go. Those guys are good to stay where they're at. Unless I want to mail one of these items off. Does anyone not have shoes? We are talking about halflings here. I guess in theory none of them have shoes. Where's Pippin? Have I lost my Theocrat? That's Sam. Pippin's down here, that's right. He's got blight protection, forestry, defense. Not really that useful, to be honest. I think I'll give Pippin those fast-moving shoes. Sam doesn't have any either. I'll give them to Sam. Seems like that would be really useful on a warlord. Besides, Sam is fairly close right now. Oh, his inventory is full. Okay, we gotta clean some stuff up here. I'm sure he doesn't need to be carrying all of this stuff. He's got a armor-piercing weapon. Let's see, the type of people I'm up against aren't likely to be armored. So I'm gonna go ahead and sell that. Get a little golden mana out of it now. Definitely want to keep a second breakfast item. If anyone needs a jewel item, that could probably go to... That could go to Pippin, I suppose. Just throw that there. He could use a ring. In fact, I'll just probably send a lot of the stuff that's here to him. That goes to Pippin. We'll send this ring to Pippin. That other stuff there, unless he has a copy of one of those, we'll probably get rid of it. It's unlikely he will need all of those anyway. But I figure I would just keep my options open with everyone as far as what range attacks they have to select from. Sam can have those boots. Now, Sam already has black bolts. He doesn't have the dart gun, but I don't really like the dart gun, so I might not actually even bother with that. He's got a longbow. Pippin does not have a longbow, so I guess I could give him one of those. But otherwise, he's got pretty much everything. Yeah, so I'll send the longbow to Pippin. And I'll probably sell the rest of that. Because I have a black bolts wand for everyone. I've got a crossbow for everyone, and I don't really care about the dart item. Okay, you guys can just hang out here. And this brew brother is trying to get to that city, I believe. Yeah. So get him in there. And that is it for this turn. I've got lots of casting points, but I don't have enough mana to make use of them. I could make use of some of them at least. I could get Scales of Fortune back up down here. I guess I may as well do that. Okay. And is there anything else that I should channel? Yeah, I don't really have an option to, so it's all good. Well, looks like they're going after each other's cities and enchantments. Let's get this healing item to my sorcerer as quickly as I can. And then move him along to the front lines. Probably want about 2 Brew Brothers stationed near each city, each of the forward cities, I think. I've already got one there, so we'll send this guy here, and then we'll send the next one following up down this way. And he can go to the westernmost city. And I'll make a couple others and make sure at least one is stationed in every single one of my cities. Okay, and then this guy can get up to this army, so we've got some replenished supply of phalanxes out here. And still 1 extra war breed at least. We'll start piling up war breeds here. Oh, it looks like Smeagol's actually going to make a move on me here. Okay. Coming in with his leader. Impressive. Okay, well, I'm going to... can I actually protect? Yeah, they can't all get to him. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to... No, they can't quite reach. That's unfortunate. I'm going to move this builder here. They might kill that, but I'm hoping their auto-pathing does the dumb thing where they go around the tower like it tries to do automatically for me. They could easily split off the Eagle Riders and get that. I was really hoping Sam's army could get on that Lucky Cloverfield tile on this turn, but they can't quite reach it. So I'm going to send them here for now. I'm worried to split off... I'm worried to send any units out of my town, because those Eagle Riders could, in theory, split off and go right at the city. So I want to make sure the city's protected. I think I will back off, keep my distance, and try to draw Smeagol into a potential trap here. Because that army is not going to beat what I've got here. That's pretty weak. Okay, Sam's got his new shoes, so he's faster now. Thoroughbred mounts is researched, so all my mounted units have 15 more HP. That is really, really nice. And I can move on to bigger and better things. Although I am pretty sure I want to get... I want Terraformer, I just don't have the mana to actually terraform anything right now because I'm actually spending a lot of it. Same thing with Warfare. It doesn't really do me a whole lot of good because I'm not able to keep up with spending. I guess combat spells might be useful. To be honest, I've wanted to do... I'm going to get Killing Spree and try to get through some more combat spells. To be honest, I've been wanting to get combat spells for a while now. There's part of my whole build involved around the conjunction between Blood Honor and one of the Warlord things that they get, and swap locations to handle city sieges, and I really haven't gotten to put that to use because swap locations has not come up yet, but that is a spell I really want, so I might work towards that a little bit, since I can get that in one turn now anyway, or get the next spell in one turn anyway there. Okay, so we finished the Arcane Item Forge here. I'm going to go ahead and... I don't think we need the Great Beast Lair. That's a huge mana investment. I can't actually even afford that right now, even if I wanted it. So we'll go with happiness boosting stuff here. Storehouse, and then... I guess a Phalanx if we get a quick auto production would be good to have one. Rise of the Allfather. Good alignment. Okay, it doesn't really affect me. I don't know if it affects the others. I should probably check that. Let's hop into the diplomacy menu here and see if any of our enemies are good. It looks like they are all neutral. So Rise of the Allfather shouldn't affect us in any way. Yeah, that should be completely irrelevant. Okay. Tulip Town is now in my territory. This city might be one that I just use pretty much exclusively for income. How is its mana looking? It's Honestly, actually, its mana is not great, but it is giving a lot of gold. I might let this city just keep making gold. The only other thing I can think of that it would be good at making would be Berserkers, because it's got that dungeon in its territory. But now that I can make War Breeds in one turn, I think Berserkers are going to become a little obsolete. So I think I'll just let that city chill with merchandise indefinitely, and be a nice gold income booster for my empire. Okay, let's get you back. Technically get one more space out of this if I split up a little bit, but nah, I'd rather have that army all grouped up together. Well, actually, they could all leave the Brew Brother behind a little bit. There we go. Okay, you guys are looking good there. All right, back down underground. Let's see what my Eagle Rider can find. I would like to know more about what's in and around this city, but I do say hasteberries over there. That is a tempting detour. So Jeff was talking to me about this and mentioned that Manicore Rider in the city could come out and kill my Eagle. I just am kind of hoping right now that the Manticore is in a stack with other types of units, but I can maybe actually take a peek and see. Yeah, he's in a stack with other types of units, so I don't think that the Manticore will split from that stack and come after this Eagle. So as such, I'm going to keep exploring in and around this city, since this city will likely become one of mine eventually, once they calm down. Also, I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but the city is called Merryfield. Slight difference in spelling, but yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny. He is literally, he is the one who founded it, as far as I know. So literally, the AI just named a city after itself, of a hero that I created. I just thought that was kind of interesting. We're back to spellcasting, and I don't think I need anything right now. I think I'll hang on to that mana for a little bit. Try to let that pile up a little. The main question here is, what does Smeagol do? Because that builder is pretty dang vulnerable. He could kill it if he wanted to, but I think I could counterattack him if he did, and kill whatever he sends. I don't mind sacrificing a builder as bait in a situation like this, so... No, he's backing off. He's a little coward. Scared. I'm thinking I probably want a bridge here. Because I could guard it pretty well on my side. I would prefer to build it like going across from this tower to that tile right there, but it's not really... The mountain's kind of in the way. So it probably makes more sense to have it go across from where that forest is. I might as well work on that now. Let's go ahead and split out some war breeds. Since we're making them in one turn everywhere, I'm going to throw one down in Pippin's armies here. We'll drop one of those monster hunters and make room for a war breed. Because he's going to get holy magic on his clubs, which will be really nice. Okay, so what I want to probably do is build kind of like this, I think. Build the road there. I know I could build it right through the lucky berries, but I sort of like being able to choose when I pick those up. And is there a road in the city? I think there is, because it says base movement cost is 3. And that'll let me put Sam's army here, which is technically on a mountain tile, but that's fine for this turn. Kind of grouping everyone up. And then if I build a bridge, Sam's army could get across really fast and get back really fast in case Yoda comes after me. I'm thinking Smeagol is probably going to be my next target, just because if you look at the way the cities are, his borders kind of stick out more, which makes him a little easier to go after, I think. Although I don't know, if I take Pippin out, I may have control over the entire southern half of the map, which would also be pretty nice. Okay, I got Steadfast Ward as a research option. I guess we'll grab that. Just try to power through a bunch of these combat researches until I get stuff that's more useful to me. Another Brew Brother finished here. I'll send this one down to that little corner city, just so someone's hanging out in there. And just leave one in every city. So I have people with True Sight stationed at various locations. Someone did attempt to just junk Inspire Loyalty, so I probably need to reinforce that. Yeah, I'll go ahead and drop all my mana on that now, because I don't have any other pending battles coming up on this turn. More phalanxes are finished. How many do I have in each location? Sam's got 4 in total out there. Pimpton has 4. She has 3. We'll send one more up north to give the Sorcerer's Army. They really took a beating against Bilbo, so we'll try to reinforce their stock. This city is back to merchandise. I think I want maybe one more Brew Brother. And then we'll probably do a Great Temple and a hospital and try to finish off a Grand Palace here. Okay, we're going to keep doing this, switch back and forth with this city. We'll get that Great Temple or get the public baths, the hospital, and work on a castle or a Grand Palace here too, I think. More breeds done. Item has arrived. He should already be holding it. Okay, that's good. Alright, so how do I want to approach this? I think this is fine, actually. We'll move up. I'll move up like this. I want to keep that Brew Brother with them for the bonus they're going to provide once I get Global Assault. I guess for the moment... Oh, wait, no. He is already providing Bard skills, because that one's already... Yeah, he's got minor Bard skills. He's already at gold rank, so... Yeah, we probably want to keep him with the good stack. I think I'm going to drop the Monster Hunter out of this stack. Add a second Phalanx. Keep one Mounted Archer with them. I'll bring a second Brew Brother. They're getting close to gold rank. I want kind of one with each army. We'll get another Phalanx, another Mounted Archer, probably the other Mounted Archer, and the horse. Although we'll have another Phalanx coming up here pretty soon. For the moment, we'll just leave this Brew Brother sitting back here. Oh, I forgot to split her off and go sell the rest of those items. I guess what I could do is mail them to someone, like Pimpton, who has a ton of extra inventory space, and he can just sell them when they arrive. Or to Sam, that's fine too. And then I'll just leave him on defense. So we got 2 full armies moving up this way. We got Sam's 2 armies here that can assist as long as Yoda doesn't interfere. And I think we could probably crush Smeagol pretty easily. I haven't actually seen too much from him in terms of Shadow Stalkers. He may have had 1 or 2 in that other army, but it wasn't a lot. Guess you can go there for now. Alright, what else can I explore down here? I can always double back and get those haste berries. I think I can go 1 space further and still make it back, yep. So we'll do that. Let's see, I should be able to can I move on that, or will that trigger a battle? I should be able to, right? Because I'm not actually... Yeah, I can do that. So he didn't actually have any units stationed on it. Okay, well I can see pretty much everything in here. So I will send this eagle out to just explore the various rivers and caves and see what I can find. As for this brew brother, I'm going to station him here because this city's kind of constantly making phalanx. Although I'm probably getting close to a point where I don't really need to on every turn. I'm going to start building a road out from this city towards Smeagol's. Because I think I've got... Normally I'm hesitant building roads out towards an enemy, but I've got enough armies between here and there that it shouldn't be any issue. Because both builders are very well protected. And let's see, Smeagol only had one Shadow Stalker, at least that I could see in that group. He's got 3 heroes all crammed up in one spot. None are halflings, though, so I won't be converting any of those. Let's see, I could make that road a little bit longer. If I were to move one of my other units, let's see here. Let's get you out of the way for a second. There we go. Yeah, they're fine set up like that. Cast spell. Summon Spirit Elemental. I don't have any casting points left because I've already spent them all on reinforcing Inspire Loyalty, which that's fine. Oh yeah, I forgot. I needed to get that builder across to build a fort out here. His current job's probably more important, though. Yeah, he can get back later. Actually, when this one's done building a bridge across, I could probably use this one to go make the fort. I think it would be faster than crossing the river with the other one. Okay, I think that's it. Let's end the turn. Smeagol is full retreating. Little coward. They're still trying to disjunct Inspire Loyalty, so I'm going to have to keep reinforcing that. At least my mana, that was loud. At least my mana is resupplying pretty well. Items have arrived. Good gosh, what a mess. I think light protection is probably going to be more useful in this situation. I'm going to sell the fire ring. I don't think fire is going to be anything I have to deal with, really. Yeah, I think fire would be fairly useless. We can put the longbow here. Maybe move that up a few slots. The other 2 things will get sold when they show up. Okay, he's already got his life-stealing sword equipped. Let's see, Great Temple Hospital is done. What else might I want here? I don't think really anything. Just the Grand Palace is all. I guess I'll queue a Monster Hunter in case there's an autocomplete, but aside from that, this city has probably done most of what it needs to do for this game. So, let's just put you in there on defense. Okay, there's swap locations. I want that. That could come in really handy. There's some fun stuff I think I will be able to do with that. Okay, let's get that road built through here. I want to make sure I don't get too excited here. Because I would rather Sam's army get across the river to be able to help. So I'll leave them there for now. And then I'm going to build this bridge. Having a bridge here will give me a nice crossing across the middle of the map. So I think that would be good. We'll move you here. We can build a road, and I think you'll have enough to make a bridge on this turn. Yes. Excellent. Okay. Then with that in place, I'm going to move Sam's army here. And we got this whole other army here. I'm going to ditch the halfling adventurer. He can stay where he's at. Does Sam's army have a brew brother yet? No, they don't. Might not really need one yet, but I'll go ahead and give them one. Feel like everyone should have one brew brother at this point. It'll make my army slower, but I think it's okay. A worthy trade-off, I suppose. And we're gonna send another Warbreed this way, since Smeagol's the next most likely to be sieged. In fact, I'll fall back. Well, no, I think I want the Monster Hunter out there to help deal with the Shadow Stalkers. How do I want to organize this? You know, actually, this is simple. I just move Sam there, move them there, bring this Warbreed up to the bridge, leave the adventurer where he's at. There we go. Problem pretty much solved. Probably maybe do want another brew brother, actually, but no, I want to let those. I want to get the other mana structures in place. I am doing pretty good on mana income here. I've got it back up to a good level. 1,300 capacity, so what I'll do is I'll finish researching swap locations, then I'll grab terraform so I have like a sink to put excess mana into, and then I should be in pretty good shape after that. Speaking of putting excess mana into stuff, I'm going to need to reinforce this again. They can stay stationed there for the moment. An Eagle Rider can just explore the underground rivers and hopefully find some treasure and oh, crap. That's not treasure. That's 3 bone dragons. Frick, they are so going to murder me. Well, that was that Eagle Rider was nice to have while it lasted. All right, now I want to grab these haste berries because this guy needs to catch up. Just want to make sure I don't make a mistake in how I position this stuff, but I don't think there should be any problem with putting him here right now. Okay, I've got a few more on the way. This brew brother I'm going to put probably as far forward as I can. Okay, I think everyone else is done. I've already spent all my casting points on reinforcing my spells, since the enemy seems determined to disjunct them, which is extremely rude. Let's carry on to the next turn and see if Smeagol does anything about the developing situation over here. No, he's not, but Pippin wants to make another run at my city down here. Well, yeah, that's, we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen there. Okay. Can sell this. He can keep the crossbow, I guess. Oh, good. She got her healing potion, so that's actually really handy. To remember, she's got fireworks tucked away in that massive bag. I need more magic for her, so yeah, I don't want to spend any of her hero points. Yes, yeah, swap locations is finally done. That I think I could have some fun with. Does Sam have the upgrade for blood honor? Yeah. Okay. I have ideas for what I want to do. They could be kind of funny. Alright. We're going to save her points for now. Select new research. Let's get terraform. So I can finally start, like, for one thing, get rid of those forests there and replace them with fertile fields to make it harder for this dude to sneak up on me. Oh crap, he's got, that is a hefty amount of units heading my way. I'm gonna need to reinforce that city with pretty much anyone here who can help. Alright, what I can do is I can use those haste berries. So if I move him here, move him here, get this guy here. We need to fully stack up in this city and get ready for a nasty fight. So they can all grab those haste berries. And I can put them down here and pull another one down. And now I've got some extra units to help man the walls. It's a lot of pikemen, which is going to make the succubus and the eagle riders a lot less useful, but the dang shadow stalkers scare the heck out of me, so that's not something I'm looking forward to fighting. Okay. Do I want to hold ground here for now while I let Pippin, like, I see what happens with Pippin? Also, I could fit another warbreed down here. Which, on this turn, yeah, I'll do that. Just to give something tanky for them to hit. Since I'm just going to keep making warbreeds in this city for a good long while, probably until I'm ready to start making Manicore Riders. I don't think I want to... Because I'm going to get my casting points back, so I can still reinforce Inspire Loyalty. Since yeah, I'll be fine. I'll reinforce Inspire Loyalty as much as I can. There's not really any other spells. So I can't use that, because Spirit Elementals aren't halflings. Authority of the Swords at 40, okay. This could be a messy defense. I'm gonna drop that one unit from Sorcerer's Army to replace it with a tier 3. And yeah, I'm just gonna hold position with these armies here. I don't want to make a big push on Smeagol right now, with the possibility of needing to fall back and retake this city. I think I will win this fight. It just will be kind of ugly. But I think I've managed to reinforce it with enough stuff. I could even get, if I really wanted to, I think I could get that halfling in there. I need to maybe adjust here and see if... Could he make it? No, he can't quite make it. Alright, well... There's that excess of Brew Brothers there, so we'll send one back. So that's the best I can do for defense there. Do I have rabbit burrows in this city? Yeah, it looks like I at least have that, so that'll help. I also do have Crypt of Unlife, I think, which will actually work in my favor for a change. So I think I will hold this city. So with that in mind, I probably should continue to move forward, unless anyone here is out of movement, and they're really not. So I think I will continue to advance on Smeagol. How do I want to build this road? Probably just meet them up there, I guess. Yeah. That makes the most sense. The problem is that once these armies all sort of gather together, the triangle formation is going to not really work, because there will be too many of them. Oh, well, that's not... Dang it, I always misclick with these freaking builders. Alright, well, that's certainly not where I wanted to leave this guy. You know what, get out. Just run. I hope that doesn't come back to bite me. Alright, for now I just want to get everyone sort of together. Oh wait, that's already got a road, right. So you fall back. Just get out of here entirely. Get maybe like on that forest tile. Okay, now I need to try to make a triangle, and I probably need to protect that builder now that it's vulnerable. So I would say put best armies forward, probably. We'll let the sorcerer and Sam's armies kind of lead the way. I'm going to swap that range unit in Sam's army, and actually I'll drop the Brew Brother that's in it for now because he's not providing a morale boost for them. And I'll put Sam's army like here. Actually should put the Sorcerer's army more like here. I can add a Warbreed to Sam's. I can add, well, another Warbreed to Sam's. And then I'll fill up this one with, let's see, we'll get an extra Brew Brother for healing. Yeah, there's actually too many units here. I think I'll draw more from the top, though, because these guys could turn around and assist in the south if they need to. Whereas the armies, by their presence here, are essentially protecting this city. So I'll draw more units from this top group. So, like, I want to get those mounted archers in here. Let's go ahead and get another phalanx. Maybe that Brew Brother, because he's really close to leveling up. And one more mounted archer. That looks pretty good to me. And then those guys can just sort of camp out there for the moment. And then that leaves this group here free to move down if they need to. Sorry, my heat just kicked on. So once I move them down, or if I need to move them down, I could do so at any time. I guess I may as well do that now, to be honest. Like, I may as well have them in a position where they can run down real quick to assist the southern city. So yeah, I'm going to have them fall back just a little. With the exception of maybe leaving one extra around to fill out that last remaining spot that's sort of vacant. Actually, I'll probably fill that with another Warbreed when it's ready. For now, I'll leave a mounted archer nearby on a mountain tile. Move one mounted archer here, move this Brew Brother here, and I think that is pretty good. That leaves me with lots of options, which is sort of what I want right now. Oh yeah, I guess you could go with them. Yeah, that leaves me with lots of options, depending on what the AI does in the next couple turns. Okay, we got that done. I will go ahead. I'm confident enough in my defense here that I'll go ahead and just build the hospital. Get it done. Phalanx is here, good. Mounted Archer there's good. And we'll keep mashing out more Phalanxes for the foreseeable future. And I think that's it. I just need to reinforce Inspire Loyalty. Okay. Yeah, that's all I need to do. So I'm going to go into the overview panel here. What am I clicking through? Why am I clicking through every wrong tab first? Inspire Loyalty. 158, reinforce to 200. Okay. That looks good to me. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and save the game here. I'm probably gonna wrap this episode up here. The last time I tried to fit just one more battle into an episode, the episode went for 1 hour and 45 minutes, which I know you guys don't mind. But it does cut into my Saturday quite a bit. There's other things I also want to do on Saturdays. So, yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up here so that I don't feel like I need to rush through the next fight because I think that caused some problems the last time I tried to do that. So I hope you guys are enjoying. It looks like we're on the verge of some more warfare coming here pretty soon. There will be one more episode coming this week, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you're looking forward to that, and I will see you all in the next one. Special thanks to all my Patreon supporters, including Tier 3 supporters Blitz, Braden, Dawson Horner, Jimbro, Sarah Feingold, Tarsak, and Tibby and Army. Thanks so much, everybody.